there than we are now. We can do this together, but we got a long struggle ahead. We're going to make it happen, and again, thank you very much.
To this forum tonight. I also want to leave you with this. I know that it takes a lot of courage to stand up in front of a crowd. It doesn't matter if the people are for you or against you, but there's a common thread that's running through all of these people, and that is they share the same kind of humility, because they're not just thinking for themselves, they're thinking about other people, some that they don't even know, some that desperately need attention, some who will never want to ask. But these people, Jason, Dr. Colbert-Bowles, Donna Smith, and Eileen, they all have this common thread of humility. And this is what we desperately need in this country, more people to step up and do this. Now, before we end this evening, I want to thank the Prawns again for providing me. This program this evening was sponsored by Jobs with Justice of Washington County, the Social Justice Committee of the Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship, and United for National Health Care Program. So please give them
Larry. In a quick statement, what do you feel about this issue and what are you doing about it?
Well, there has been this disclaimer this evening, and of course, I am running for Congress, and one of my planks is, of course, to put single payer in as the true public option. Having lived in France and having seen Sicko 3 or 4 times, I can tell you that Michael Moore truly represented the French in that movie. And having lived in France for 10 years, again, all I did was take my little health care card. They asked me if I still lived at the same address and what my problem was. And I got care. It was so simple. And you know the health care card that the French carry around? It was designed by the Americans. So there's also a law in France that was formed back in the 1930s because the French had the same problem that we are having now, is that they had HMOs in France back in the 30s that, if you wanted to get care, they would weigh the care against their financials. And the doctors took exception to that. And when I lived in France, in Paris especially, there was a strike in the French streets every single day, and I just hated it. Because you couldn't go to the post office, you couldn't get a train, you had to walk home some nights. But I'll tell you, now I think that they were damn right to protest every single thing. And so the doctors back in the 30s in France said, you know what? A financial institution should not have the right to interfere with my sovereignty to diagnose and to prescribe therapy. And so they went out on the street and they won public support and they won the right not to have any interference with their diagnosis and treatment. And I would love to see the doctors and nurses in this country do the same thing, stand up and say, our patients come first. That's what we need. In fact, if I had anything to do with national health care legislation, I would say this is one thing that we have to do, because we have a problem with ethics in this country, and that is we put finances ahead of our health. So we should make health care a right in this country, just like any place else. So that's what I'm doing. I'm standing up and I'm running for office. And United for National Health Care does not have a position about my candidacy. That's the right way to do it. So again, thank you all for coming. Let's have a collective effort to make sure that we have the right kind of health care so that Larry doesn't have to worry about losing his home, so that Donna gets the care that she needs, so that all of us in this room can live to our potential. Thank you once again.
Oh my gosh, likewise. No, I'm not.